Phantasm. Is it a nightmare? Phantasm. Is it an illusion? Phantasm. Is it an evil?
You have to take me home.
But why?
No questions. You must take me home.
Phantasm. Is it a fantasy? Phantasm. Is it alive?
There was nobody driving.
Whatever it is, if this one doesn't scare you, you're already dead. Phantasm.
Hi, this is Sam,
And this is Becca.
and welcome to BNS About Movies. Tonight we watch Phantasm
Yes.
with Becca's parents.
Y'all should have been there.
I should have brought the iPad, but it was charging.
It's very unfortunate that nobody actually got to hear the actual audio. What do they call it when they listen to the crowd to get their reactions?
Oh, yeah.
We should have done that.
There was one point that your mom said, asked this,
Who, what, where, when?
who is that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? What's his brother's name?
His brother died?
His brother's dead? Well, he's alive again. I thought that guy was dead. So
Mine, the whole time, my mom does not like horror movies. She likes sci-fi.
she likes to be involved.
She likes to be a part of things. But she told us how many times that she wasn't going to watch it.
And she watched the whole thing.
She watched the whole thing beginning to end.
Yeah. Well, she didn't watch it. She looked at her slot machine.
Video game.
And then she commented on the movie.
When-
And then a few times she looked up and went, "Oh!" and jumped back. Becca got a really bad alert today because they were watching Poltergeist together.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one scene that Becca snuck up behind her and grabbed her right when the scary part happened. And I could have came home to dead mother-in-law.
You could have.
Please don't kill her.
In our house.
Yeah, she'll haunt our house.
Oh no.
And then you'll be laying in bed like, who? Who?
What?
What?
At least we'll know who it is.
Who? What? And then another point, your dad got so excited he threw his arm back and knocked the light out.
And we were in
And all the
dark.
power went out. Your mom yelled at that one. Mm-hmm. It's a much more interactive. We should charge people money to come watch. We should get them popular from the podcast. Mm-hmm. And then we should have them,
Be our guests.
Yeah.
People would pay to see them.
So Phantasm's from 1979. Mm-hmm. It's an American horror film that's directed, written, photographed, co-produced, and edited by Don Coscarelli. It introduces the Tall Man.
Yes. Angus Scrim.
Angus Scrim, who is a supernatural and malevolent undertaker who turns the dead into dwarf zombies to do his bidding and take over the world. He's opposed by Mike and Jody and family friend Reggie.
Yeah.
Phantasm was a locally financed independent film. The cast and crews were mostly amateurs and aspiring professionals. And though initial reviews were quite mixed, it later received positive reviews and became a cult classic. Both positive and negative reviews focus on the dreamlike, surreal narrative and imagery. It is an influence on many films, and it appears on many people's favorite movies of all time list. There are 4 sequels, obviously. 1988's Phantasm 2 that came 9 years after the original, which I preferred when I was younger. Phantasm 3, Lord of the Dead. Phantasm 4, Oblivion. And this year, Phantasm is being re-released by J.J. Abrams. It's his favorite movie. Totally redone, 4K, great-looking version of it. And
We'll be the judge of that.
I guess he worked with Don Coscarelli to make it look great. And then a fourth sequel entitled Phantasm 5 Ravager is going to play. They're going to go on tour with both movies, and you get to meet them, and they're going to be playing them. It starts soon.
This movie cost $300,000 to make.
Yep.
But it made $12 million.
Yeah.
So I say that's a success. $1 million of that was probably for me alone.
So, and it starts, Jody is a 24-year-old musician, raising his 13-year-old brother Mike in a small town.
Because his parents just passed away from, I think it was a car accident.
Everybody dies from a car accident.
Apparently in this town, no one can drive.
Or stabbed by horse.
Yeah.
Reggie, a family man and ice cream vendor.
Because, you're always friends with the local ice cream man.
Joins the brothers in their suspicions that the local mortician, known as the Tall Man, is responsible for their deaths. Before that, Mike relays his fears to a fortune teller and her granddaughter. Mm-hmm. And he's shown a small black box and told to put his hand into it. Mm-hmm. After the box grips his hand, Mike is told,
"Don't fear, Michael. Fear is the killer itself."
And the notion of fear itself as the killer is established, propelling Michael toward his final confrontation with the Tall Man. The minions are deceased townspeople, shrunk to dwarf size and reanimated so they can go to the Tall Man's planet, or hell, or whatever it is. They're crushed down to deal with the heat.
And the gravity.
The gravity. Reggie gets stabbed and appears to die, but he does not, as Mike and Jody escape. Lure the Tall Man to a deserted mine shaft and trap him inside. Mm-hmm. Mike walks by his house, and he's lying by the fireplace. Reggie's there and tells him Jody died. Mm-hmm. They need to get out of town. Spoiler warning, Mike enters the bedroom and is shocked to see the Tall Man. And
still alive.
He gets pulled through the mirror.
A lot of it, though. Is it a dream? Is it...
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I really like about this movie is when I first saw it when I was a kid, I didn't understand dream-like filmmaking.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't into a lot of the movies I'm into now. So the second movie is a lot more of a standard narrative. Mm-hmm. And a lot bloodier and a lot more of an action movie.
Well, everything's established, so you just get the point of what it's about if you've seen the first one.
So, but I started with the second one.
Oh.
And I loved the second one, and the first one just didn't seem as good to me. Now that I'm older, the first one feels like...
It's better.
It's like a dream that you don't wake up from. And that's why I think there's a lot of running and a lot of people dying, not dying, people suddenly showing up out of nowhere. It makes more sense once you realize it's a dream. Mm-hmm. So Angus Scrimm, how'd he meet Don Coscarelli? Well, they had worked on a previous film together, and he was really intimidated by Scrimm. Initially, he had little input, but he made more of a contribution as he went on. He was outfitted in lifts and a suit that was too small for him, making him seem skinnier. Mm-hmm. So, what do you think that Angus Scrimm did before he was an actor?
Maybe he was a mortician.
He was a writer. He was a journalist and wrote and edited for TV Guide, Cinema Magazine, the Los Angeles Herald Examiner, and other publications.
So why was he born under a different name? Why did they change his name?
Lawrence Rory Guy. Angus Scrimm was his
stage
name. But he also had another name, Rory Guy, which was his middle and last name. And he wrote liner notes for Frank Sinatra, the Beatles, Arthur Rubinstein, and Itzhak Perlman. He even won a Grammy for his liner notes. He's 6'4", and he was in some other movies too. He was in Jim.
He just passed away this year.
Yeah, he was in Jim the World's Greatest, which is one of Don Coscarelli's first movies. He played Jim's father. He's in Phantasm 2, of course. Subspecies, where he's King Vladislas.
Yeah, Subspecies. He plays the dad.
Yeah, he's in Wishmaster. He's the narrator. He's in Masters of Horror, the incident on and off a mountain road that Don Coscarelli did. He's in John Dies at the End, also another of his films. And he was on the show Alias because of J.J. Abrams' love of Phantasm. Reggie Bannister is the hardest working man in horror.
He is.
Yes. He is known for playing the shotgun-toting ex-ice cream man Reggie. He has appeared in dozens of films. He is in the latest Stephen King adaptation, One for the Road. And he has actually worked on a few things. He's co-produced and starred in the short sequel to Sam's Lot. That's what it is, One for the Road. It stars, he composed the song, Have You Seen It? Used in Phantasm 4, Oblivion. And Sitting Here at Midnight with Bill Thornbury, which is used in Phantasm.
I could sing it for you.
He is in The Quiet Ones, The Rage, Bubba Hotep, also a Don Coscarelli movie, Wishmaster, Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, The Initiation. Mm-hmm. And he's in Jim's the World's Greatest and Kenny and Company. This DVD.
Is that why that was on there?
Yeah, they are all in. They're all in it. It's one of his films. Let's see. He based Don Coscarelli was actually friends with Reggie Bannister.
I'd be friends with Reggie too.
He based the role on him and twisted the direction of new characters. He was designed to be everyman, oil friend, and the comic relief. And then there's the lady in lavender, who is the tall man, who he uses to seduce Tommy, Jody's friend. Mm-hmm. My question is the tall man the original transgender supervillain? Mm-hmm. Because isn't that kind of weird? Like he's like she's like grinding on that dude when she stabs him, and then she turns to the tall man. He like goes, and like everybody's like, "Oh, tall man's awesome." Like, no, tall man turns into a woman and has sex with dudes and stabs him. His like goals aren't really lofty, but they are. That's what's weird about this movie. His goals are at once incredibly lofty and incredibly non-lofty. Mm-hmm. So you want to know how this movie came together?
Yeah. You know, I think we should read this stuff. I was just thinking about this.
Yeah.
Because we were watching Saturday Night Live earlier.
Yeah.
I think we should do it like Anna Guest Star and Molly Shannon. Remember their radio show?
Oh, Delicious Dish.
Yeah. We should talk like that.
After seeing the audience, I don't think I could do a whole thing of that.
I'm good at the follow-up. I'd be like, oh, that's really cool.
Sweet. And what's the recipe that you make for the holidays?
What is it? Sweaty balls?
Sweaty balls. After seeing audience reaction to the jump scares in Kenny and Company, he decided to do a horror film. His previous films had not done well, so he thought he always loved horror. So his original idea that he wanted to adapt Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury, but couldn't get the rights. So the theme of young boys...
Somebody else did it. Disney did.
Yep. And the thought of a young boy's difficulty convincing adults of his fears was influenced by Invaders from Mars. He was also influenced by Suspiria and its lack of explanations for what's happening. The soundtrack was influenced by Mike Oldfield and Goblin. The synthesizers were so primitive, it was difficult to repeat them. So he wanted to shock audiences at the end and send them out on a bang. So there are no accountants on the set, but he estimates around $300,000. Most of the money came from his dad, and additional funding came from his doctors and lawyers. His mom designed most of the special effects, the costumes, and makeup.
What?
And the cast and the crew were mainly friends and aspiring professionals. Due to their inexperience, they did not realize that firing blanks could be dangerous.
Yeah.
One of the times they fired a shotgun shell, his Don Coscarelli's jacket caught on fire.
What's dangerous about firing blanks? I don't know these
They actually spark out. When you
Oh.
fire. Or that's why you don't fire them directly at people. That's how Brandon Lee died. Because stuff still comes out of them. And sometimes the tip of the bullet will come out with the wad that is packed in them. So they're pretty dangerous. There was no editor or cameraman, so he did it himself. Filming was done on weekends and sometimes lasted for 20 hours in a row and went for over a year. The actors would be called upon to perform their own stunts and scenes and were picked up as soon as they were available. Bannister did most of his own stunts and it was shot in the San Fernando Valley in Chatsworth. The script often changed during production, Reggie Bannister claiming he never saw a copy of it, but they worked scene by scene and improvised. It was barely linear, they say. It had concepts of completed film, but was written several times during filming. The spears came from a bad dream. Will Green, an elderly metalworker, fashioned the spears, but he never got to see the finished film. The black Plymouth Barracuda was used because they knew someone in high school that drove one. He realized he could get his hands on it to do the film. So post-production took 6 to 8 months. The first test screening was a disaster because the movie was too long with too much character development. The reason why the movie seems like a dream is that it was edited and slapped together to try to make a movie out of so much that they shot. During shooting, they had no ending. Several endings were filmed, and one of them was reused in Phantasm Oblivion.
Ah.
Yes. So, I've never seen Phantasm Oblivion, believe it or not.
We might have to get that one.
Yeah.
I saw it a long time ago.
Yeah, and 3 is very expensive.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like $35 is the cheapest I found for it.
Well, I mean, we can.
A lot of critics think this movie is about mourning and death.
Mm-hmm.
Angus Scrimm thought that it gave expression to the insecurities and fears of young kids. He thought that the theme of loss and how by fantasizing about death, the young protagonist deals with the deaths in his family. It's a predominantly male story that young teens really think of, and they have compared this film to the works of Alexandre Jodorowsky and Louis Buñuel.
Really?
It's a truly bizarre mix of outlandish horror, cheapo gore, and psychological mind games that purposely blur the line between waking and dreaming, said Mark Zavloff of the Austin Chronicle. There are several deleted scenes on the DVDs. One, Mike enters a room with 2 coffins. One is open with the body inside. The other's closed. Mike hears sounds from inside the second coffins. He thinks Reggie's trapped inside. However, Reggie enters the room. Mike realizes there's something in the coffin, and he and Reggie close it. Mike suggests, let's go find Jody. Another scene, Mike and Jody find the tall man in the funeral home. Jody shoots him with a shotgun several times with no effect. The tall man knocks Mike onto the floor and picks Jody up with one hand. Mike sees a fire extinguisher and uses it to blast the tall man, who screams and his head explodes. So he actually paid people to watch the initial thing of this.
I would have watched it for free.
Yeah. And so it has a 64% Rotten Tomato score, which is pretty good for a genre movie. And how much do I mentioned how much J.J. Abrams likes the movie?
Yeah.
He named a character in the new Star Wars after it. Captain Phasma is named because of the chrome design, and she reminded him of the ball in Phantasm, and he thought, Captain Phasma sounds like a cool name.
It's one of those movies, like you said, mixed reviews, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I put it in my group. It's called my I Can't Explain group.
Yeah.
For anybody else, a normal person to watch this, they'd probably be like, oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's shitty. There's a reason I like shitty movies. And it's hard to explain. I don't know why I like them. But this is up there in that top 10 of best shitty, low budget wonderfulness. But I don't know what it is about them.
Well, I think a lot of people...
I've never been able to put my finger on it. Like why we like the movies we do.
I think a lot of people love this movie.
Yeah, I know.
Obviously, if they've made 4 sequels.
Not the mainstream people, though.
Well, I think if I had not... When I saw this movie before, really liking a lot of Italian strange experimental horror and Jodorowsky...
Well, my question is, why do you like it?
Well, I didn't like it the first time I saw it because it felt so disjointed and, like, the finger effects aren't that great and, like, why is there a fortune teller and why doesn't anything line up make sense? Because I only thought that movies had to follow this linear narrative and make sense. But I think after you see stuff...
Oh, I learned early on that that's not true.
Well, I think I should have... I think if I saw it either as a young child or now, I would have liked it. I was in a more cynical phase of movie loving then.
Yeah.
Where things had to make sense, so I didn't like it. Like, why is the finger turned into a bug? That's stupid. Now I'm like, oh, well, okay, well, it's a dream. Things happen and things change, and maybe it means something else or it explains something else. And so I kind of love that. I love all the running scenes in it. I love that the lady in lavender is not that attractive, yet lures all these guys there. I love that it's a younger brother trying to come to grips with his...
Everything that's happened.
And puberty and trying to get involved with his brothers having sex, and he's like fascinated by sex, but also by death and how they're interconnected.
Loves cars.
Loves cars. There's a lot of music that gets played in it.
Music's amazing.
And the theme's amazing. This kind of, in a weird way, came out like 2 years after Halloween, but it feels like not informed by Halloween. I think that's why I love it. It's not... I can see the Suspiria influence on it somewhat, but but it's not really influenced by any other movies. It's
its own thing.
It's like much in the same way like how Man Knows the Hands of Fate is like this crazy movie that emerged from a bunch of friends putting together a movie or townspeople. It feels like that, but it's just weird. Like it's almost like all non-professionals who became professionals making a movie together, and because it's so untainted by Hollywood, it just has its certain joie de vivre. I don't know what the right term is. I'm trying to think of it.
I can't ever put my finger on it.
Yeah, you can't put your finger on it. It's very much like an alien document. Like, versus when you watch a lot of other horror movies from 1979, they're very formulaic and like, okay, well, that was supposed to happen. Like, nothing that's supposed to happen happens in it. Like,
well, I always judge a good movie if I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
B, dirty.
Yeah.
See, like, what's
dirty
wrong?
in what way? Like, dirty, just like feel
just
weird?
like, oh, like I would never want to be there. Like, physically dirty.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I know they did a good job.
Yeah.
Or see, upset, and it's something that I'll ponder day or night.
What are the three things? Dirty, upset, and
something that'll make me think about it the next day. Like, what would I do if that happened to me?
Well, what I like,
or what happened to the person who made it for made them think of this?
If people didn't love this, these guys wouldn't all be doing conventions all the time. My favorite scene in it, it's weird, but now I realize why I like it so much, is when he's running back to the mausoleum to confront the tall man, and he just has the knife, and he runs through the mud, and all the hands grab him. And then he sees the lady in lavender, and they both have a knife, and they stare at each other. And they just stare at each other.
He's not afraid, though. So
he's not afraid. But it's also, to me, like, this is my psychologist reading on this. He's coming to grips with his puberty. And the women will not always be frightening to him, and sex will not be frightening to him. And, like, he's starting to conquer his fears of what it is to grow up and grow past his parents' death and accept death and change as a natural part of life.
And become a young man.
So it's really one young man's coming of age. It is. It does.
Southern California in a mausoleum.
And it is very hero's journey. Mm-hmm. He loses people. He has mentors. Reggie and his brother. Mm-hmm. There's like power given. There's a lot of hero's journey in this. Speaking of the mausoleum, this same mansion that was used for it was also in Burnt Offerings.
Yes.
And A View to a Kill. Mm-hmm. So when they made this movie, it
was in California.
Yeah, and when they made this, they would rent all the equipment on a Friday and return on Monday.
That's hilarious.
And pay for 1 day rental. Who do you think played the dwarves?
Midgets.
Little kids.
Really?
Yep. So the original running time...
Midgets cost too much money.
Yep. The original running time of this movie, 3 hours.
It's long. I think it's over 2 hours.
Some of the unused footage was located in the late 90s and is in Phantasm 4 Oblivion. The rest of it is lost.
Oh.
The ball itself cost $1,100 to make. And they're very simple special effects. How they do it, you might ask? The sphere was thrown from behind the camera by a baseball pitcher, and the shot was printed in reverse. The ball attaching stuff to the man's head was filmed by sticking it onto his head, pulling it off, and playing it in reverse. The Phantasm came from the works of Edgar Allan Poe, where the name came from. And in Australia, the movie had a different title because Phantasm there is a sex comedy.
Oh.
There are 2 of them. It's spelled with an F, though.
Oh.
The stone-looking interior of the mausoleum is plywood and marble-colored plastic contact paper.
That's what I thought.
Yes. So how do you think they did the coffin effect?
Which part?
Where a tall man lifts it by himself.
It's made out of cardboard.
It's balsa wood. Yeah. And there's a rope. The rope can be briefly seen lifting it if you watch. I think
I did see it.
Yes. The co-producer had seen Angus Scrimm at a sneak preview of Kenny and Company, the movie that Don Coscarelli had done before, and said, hey, he liked working with you so much, he wrote a role for you in his next movie. He said, you're going to be an alien. And Angus Scrimm got really excited and said, well, what country do I come from? He goes, no, you're from another planet. He got the idea of the living severed finger by drinking from a styrofoam cup. He punched his finger through the bottom and moved it. He loved how it looked and tried to figure out how to put it in a story. Both of his parents and Reggie Bannister's parents are extras in the funeral scene.
Aw.
Yeah, his mother was actually a novelist, Kate Cuscarelli. She has several titles, and so many titles in the production that her name's in it, and that she's also listed as S. Tyler and Shirley May for production design, makeup, and costume design. She also wrote the novel based on the film.
Aw.
So he actually wrote...
They had a good family situation.
Yeah. He wrote this in an isolated cabin in the mountains of L.A. In Turkey, this movie is called Maniac.
Maniac!
Which means psycho.
Yeah.
And the death metal band, amazing death metal band, Entombed, actually covered this song on their debut album, Left Hand Path. Before the solos in the song Left Hand Path, they go into the Phantasm song and play it. So this would be the point where I drop that into the show.
Okay, good.
Yeah. That's okay. So you heard it. So the Plymouth Barracuda. The reason why it's in it was so the brothers could have a means of bonding. Michael Baldwin actually learned how to drive in that car, even though he was only 14 years old. After the movie was finished, the car was sold, and nobody knows what happened to it. And yes, in Australia, the film is called The Never Dead.
Oh.
Which is a pretty good name.
Yes.
This mansion was also used in the movie Little Girl Blue. There are also several references to the book Dune. That's why the bar is named Dune.
Yeah.
And the scene where Mike is putting his hand in a black box, that is also taken from Dune.
Yeah.
And the planet looks, now you think about it,
It does.
a lot like Dune.
The spice.
The spice.
Yeah.
The Jawas and the dwarves look a lot alike. Mm-hmm. But the design for the dwarves was already completed before Star Wars came out because they've been working on it.
I was going to say, I always got all of that confused when I was little.
Yeah.
I said, maybe these are the same people.
So there's a big chunk of this movie that has been taken out. Jody works in the family bank where he had inherited a job from his father. He clashes with the stuffy manager, and his girlfriend, Susan Harper, who's one of the tellers, has a bigger job. These scenes were cut for time. One of the bank guards, Ralph Richmond, was later recast as the bartender because they felt bad that he was not in the movie.
Aww.
In Italy, this movie is called Ghosts, but it's called Phantasmi.
Phantasmi.
And it's called a Phantasma Ghost in Spain. Another thing... Supposedly, I don't believe this one. Mm-hmm. Okay? The song Ace of Spades by Motorhead was released the year after Phantasm. And at a New York screening of the film, Lemmy was reported to have said that Mike's head looked like the Ace of the Spades, and he spent much of the rest of the film writing out the lyrics on a notepad, using a pencil that had been given him by Starsky and Hutch star David Soul. I do not believe that.
That's a little too much information.
That sounds a little too much information, yes.
You have to see how sweet our dog is sleeping.
He's passed out.
He's curled up like a little baby.
Also, the Hungarian black metal band Tormentor used the Phantasm song too. And the line, "The funeral's about to begin, sir," is used by the band Marduk on their track Hearse.
The funeral is about to begin, sir.
And also by the Ravenous.
I was going to say, it's got to be in a million.
And also death metal band Mortician used it as the intro for the song Mortician.
The funeral is about to begin, sir.
And it's also on the Municipal Waste album.
Mm-hmm. I see it all now. What we gotta do is we gotta snag that tall dude and stomp the shit out of him, and we'll find out what the hell is going on up there. Yeah, we'll lay that sucker out flat and drive a stake right through his goddamn heart.
You gotta be shitting me, man. That mother's strong.
So a lot of metal bands really love this. 3 spoiler things too. Film was originally rated X.
Yeah.
Not just because of the famous silver spear scene, but because the man peed all over the floor when he was dead. So Los Angeles Times film critic Charles Champlin made a phone call as a favor to a friend on the board. Thanks to him, Phantasm was downgraded to an R. And in return, his positive review appears on all the film's promotional posters. After filming a scene where his character is killed by one of the spheres, Kenneth Jones was too tired to have his makeup removed, so he drove home. As he did, he was pulled over by a police officer who did not buy his story of being an actor, and it had to be confirmed. Finally, at the end, when Reggie comes out of the funeral home, the production installed a wind machine with a huge fan blowing to create the effect of a strong wind. As a joke, Michael Baldwin started throwing stones in front of the fan. Those stones went on to hit Reggie Bannister and Kathy Lester several times during the end of it. So there's a ton of deleted scenes, though, and some even mistakes when these were transferred to video. It says there's some crazy credits.
What do they mean by that?
With the exception of the title Phantasm appears on screen, there are no empty credits.
What does that mean?
There are no credits and opening credits in the video.
Oh, yeah.
And also the cable TV version has extra text that says, "Enter the tall man's mausoleum if you dare," at phantasm.com.
Aw.
Which is kind of cool. Let's see. It's referenced in a lot of movies. Actually show this on the marquee. Also, in Troll 2, the scene where the goblin breaks through the mirror is intended as a homage to Phantasm.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten that right away, but I see it now.
In the Mouse of Madness, there's a poster for the Hobbs End horror that the writer wrote. It said, "This book doesn't scare you to death, you're already dead."
Yeah.
It's meant as a homage to Phantasm's tagline. If this one doesn't scare you, it's already dead.
Gotcha.
Yeah. In the video game Blood, it is inside the Morningside obituary, which shares the name of the cemetery from Phantasm.
It does.
Yep. There's a lot of just different shows always just refer to it. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm really happy with this movie. I'm glad that we watched it. I'm always glad to watch it. I'm really excited for the new one.
This is in my top 10.
In your top 10?
Yeah.
What would you give it letter grade?
A.
A?
A.
I'm going to give it an A, too.
There's nothing missing.
Yeah. I actually like the second one an awful lot. Because they make a shotgun that's got 4 barrels on it, and there's more sex scenes and a gold ball that goes through somebody's body and comes out their mouth.
I think you're forgetting one good part to talk about with people.
What's that?
The trailer we saw, what was the one for the zombie kids that was dubbed?
Oh, Night of the Living... What was that?
These objects symbolize the dark power that voodoo has over men.
Voodoo lets you control the dead and the living. With this root, you can make someone love you.
This is a historic moment. The raising of the undead. The sacrifice? Is the head in there?
It said it came with neck and gizzards.
The ashes of the undead. Hear us and give life back to the dead.
Man, I got this crap all over my shirt. It's on fire. The thing is stuck.
What are we doing in a mortuary?
We're not dead.
Yeah, but look at our toes.
We're zombies. Listen to me. Soon we'll be unstoppable. Good morning.
You look like shit.
Really? I feel great.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah?
Why did you do that for so long? You were down there for 10 minutes.
Is everything okay?
Yeah.
They must have flesh.
Have you totally lost it? You can't just go around eating your teachers.
Have you gone out of your mind? Like new.
It looks like you're about to lose one of your balls or something.
What? Oh my god, not again.
All I know
Night of the Living Dorks
is someone's ball fell off and rolled across the floor. Their actual ball.
Yeah, and they were trying to
And
find.
it looked like a purple Easter egg. That's
Also,
all I can say, a bumpy purple Easter egg
the entire trailer was dubbed
for Americans.
Yeah,
I don't want to see that.
I'm looking it up to see what it's about.
I know what it's about. It's about stupid.
It came out in 2005.
That's so horrible.
The poster looks a lot better than the trailer. It's a German horror comedy.
Oh, good.
And well, let's tell you a little bit about it. It stars Tina Muse, Manuel Cortez, Thomas Schmeidner, and Colin Fernandez. It was released in 2007 by Anchor Bay Entertainment. So a zombie's ashes are put in an urn, and then a bunch of kids smoke it. And this movie has a 20% score on Rotten Tomatoes. It is being remade.
Why?
By Michael Showalter from the State, and Adam Goldberg is going to produce it. But I guess it was a well thought of movie. The trailer was definitely not. And there's nothing like sitting with your in-laws
When someone's purple Easter egg ball
when
rolls
someone's
across
purple Easter egg ball
rolls across the screen.
rolls across the screen. Did that man's ball fall out and roll across the screen? Yes, it did. I will give you, if you like this movie, you'll also like Phantasm 1 through 5.
Yes.
Bubba Hotep. Have you ever seen that?
Long time ago, when it first came out.
Demons. The Beyond. Yes. Zombie. Yes. Pumpkinhead. Yes. From Beyond. Yes.
Thank you for calling. I'm going to direct your call.
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
Fine.
I was going to come down there with my grandson, and I just wanted to see what you guys had on the buffet today.
Okay. Tell me what you're looking for, and I'll tell you if I have it.
Okay. Do you have barbecue pork?
Yes.
Good. Do you have broccoli and rice?
Yes.
Good. Do you got fried chicken?
Yes.
Good. Do you have grilled chicken?
Yes.
Good. Do you have meatloaf?
Every day.
Good. Pizza?
Every day.
Good. Pork roast?
We don't carry pork roast.
Good.
I think you'll like all these. They're saying that the Phantasm Remastered is a stunning work of art.
It does look like a purple Easter egg.
Oh, you took a look at it?
Yeah.
What?
I wanted to see what
Oh,
one
why are
really
you
looks
looking
at.
at that?
That's a ball.
I know what they look, but that's not inside my body.
Yeah, that's what they look like.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What other movies has Bill Thornberry been in? Now that he's been in all the Phantasm movies.
This is how you're supposed to check them, too, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Deadpool taught me that. They had a video where Deadpool taught you how to check your balls.
This message is brought to you by Deadpool.
Gentlemen, how well do you know your happy sack? I'm sure you rummage around downstairs more than Mommy would like, but it's time you started paying attention to your favorite pastime, because that bag of beans bouncing around in your hand could be trying to kill you. What? Yeah, because testicular cancer is the most common form of cancer in men aged between 15 and 35. It's time to fight back. Hold each of your manberries, or as I like to call them, smooth criminals, in turn between your thumb and fingers. Give them a gentle roll around. Don't get too excited, though. You're on a mission here. You also need to check the tubes around the back. That's the spermatic cord and epididymis, but I'm sure you knew that. If at any point you feel an unusual lump, size shift, or irregularity, don't ignore it like a pussy. Man up and talk to your doctor. The alternative is not an option. Check those bad boys at least once a month after a bath or shower, so the next time you're shopping for one in the sexy salad section, remember to tweak the tomatoes before you go cucumber crazy. Haha, puns.
Hashtag touch yourself tonight.
Oh, good.
Remember when I thought I had ball cancer
Oh, my goodness.
for about a week?
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
I need to get off Google Images.
Why are you doing it?
Oh, I don't know. There's some scary pictures. Oh, here's one cut open in half.
So, at work?
No.
At work?
Oh, I can't look at that anymore.
At work, I'm working on a breast cancer head. So I found out about this. There's a new kind of breast cancer surgery that combines plastic surgery with breast cancer surgery.
Yes.
And like an idiot, I looked at the pictures.
Yeah.
It looked like basically you cut straight down the breast and around the nipple.
Yeah.
Straight down, and they lift it up, and they actually move the nipple up now, so they don't get rid of the nipple anymore.
Yeah.
And the inside, it's like a manwich.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Not a good manwich either.
A boob manwich.
A boobwich.
A boobwich.
Here's a list of 80s and 90s horror movies you gotta watch.
I'll read it.
Let's see. Hold on. I'm loading it. Load. Okay. You tell me, and I'll tell you if I agree with them. And I'm going to open up the beer of the episode. What are you drinking, baby?
I'm drinking Green Flash Passion Fruit Kicker. Wheat ale with passion fruit.
We're big fans of Green Flash, and I think I should link them this episode.
Yes. What are you drinking, baby doll?
I'm drinking Hell or High Watermelon. Again, from 21st Amendment, a wheat beer.
It's delicious.
It's the beer of the summer. It only comes out for summer.
It's the beer of Sam Summer.
It is. It is a great summer drinking beer. Right, Ange?
Yes.
Angela had quite the day. All right,
He
hit
did.
me with this list.
Okay, well, we're going to go 25 down, and I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way to the top.
Should I tell you how I feel about these movies? How would you like me to react?
Give me how many stars out of 10 you would give it.
Oh, okay.
And I'll tell you what they gave it.
Okay.
Night of the Creeps.
10.
They gave it a 6.8.
Fuck them.
Probably. Dead Alive.
20 stars.
They gave it a 7.5.
You ever seen Dead Alive?
Yes.
It has an evil monkey in it.
I know.
It's in my top horror movies ever.
Chopping Mall.
Never seen it.
It's wonderful. They gave it a 5.5. I think that's underrated.
Why don't we own Chopping Mall?
It's
a horror movie in a mall. It's everything you love.
Bride of Reanimator.
I've never seen it.
Me either. They gave it a 6. I'm going to let them keep that.
Okay.
The Beyond.
The Fulci movie?
Yes.
Oh, 200 stars.
They gave it a 6.9.
That's probably one of my top 5 favorite movies ever. I'm going to give that 500 stars.
Okay. Basket Case.
Out of 10, I give like 7.
They gave it a 6.1. I'll let them have that too.
Okay.
Original Reanimator.
Oh, fun.
7.3. They gave Phantasm a 6.9, so that's obviously wrong. It's way better than Reanimator.
A 10.
Henry, the Portrait of a Serial Killer.
That movie's depressing.
I've never seen it.
That's alright. It's good for you. It's good, but if you want to watch a bunch of dudes rape and kill while they videotape it and try not to have sex with each other?
No.
No, I want to watch funny killings.
Creep Show, the original.
900 stars.
They gave it a 6.8.
Tom Atkins is in it, so that's like 50 stars by itself.
I know. Bad Taste.
9.
It was directed by Peter Jackson.
Yep. He also did Dead Alive. And Meet the Feebles.
They Live. 100.
How many stars can I give?
Only 10.
Okay, 10.
They gave it a 7.3, which is, got it.
Give me that.
Near Dark.
10.
They gave it a 7. Obviously, way low.
Yeah.
Life Force, they gave a 6.1.
Oh my god, 400 stars.
I know.
Do you know what my favorite thing about Life Force is?
What?
Toby Hooper was like just coked out the whole time they're making it. Mm-hmm. And every time the one actress would come on set, he'd be like, "You need to shave her again." They made her keep shaving her parts over and over again so she looked hairless, completely hairless. And
they should have got a waxer, not a shaver.
Well, they didn't know that. It was like late 70s, early 80s, and they were like, "Shave that girl again."
I think that Hellraiser bought into this because they're number 9 through 11.
I'm not a fan.
I like the original, and that's it.
Not a fan.
From Beyond.
It's decent.
Yeah, they gave it 6.8.
So Stuart Gordon rate this list? Is that what happened?
No.
Okay.
The Fly.
Which one? Brundlefly? Or the original Fly?
Jeff Goldblum.
What's the price in it? You know what?
I'm not a fan, yeah.
I like it, but I'm not super fan.
Evil Dead 2.
10.
They gave it 7.8. They gave it better than the original Evil Dead.
I like Evil Dead 2 better than Evil Dead 1.
I like the first one.
No, I like 2, and I like Army of Darkness 2. I like...
Day of the Dead is number 4.
I feel the same way, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Day of the Dead's number 4?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Day of the Dead. I feel the same way about Evil Dead as I do about zombie movies. I love it, but I don't like people liking what I like.
Yeah. Army of Darkness?
10.
Yeah. That's number 3, though, and that's really not a horror movie to me.
It's a comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Night of the Comet is number 2.
I love that movie.
But it's not number 2.
It's not number 2.
And Night of the Demons is number 1.
No.
Night of the Demons 2 is better anyways, but that's, again, it's not a number 1.
Who's making these IMDb lists? Are we going to have to get on IMDb?
It was last updated in 2014, so.
Let me see if I can find this. A better list.
By Alley202.
Fuck you. What other list today? Can you hold my beer, please?
Mm-hmm.
My Hell or High Water Mullen. This is movies I've watched. There's one title on it. Alley202. Probably didn't like Troll 2 either. Here's a list of... Let's see, this is stupid. I could make a list on here too. It's like, here's a list of horror movies that I like on IMDb. Here's movies that I own. And number 1 on it is Demi Moore in The Crucible.
My top 10 best farts and where they took place.
Why did I just fart?
You did a little bit ago, but that's okay.
Did it make it to the podcast?
I hope so.
I'm going to edit this out.
No.
Yeah.
I want it to be like Andy's dropping of the metal object.
No.
My husband seems to think that no one else in the world farts. He always says, I'm sorry and excuse me.
Yeah.
It happens all the time and people never say sorry or excuse me.
I think.
When you're standing in that elevator and you smell someone else and no one says a word, they don't care.
I say, excuse me, I'm sorry.
My baby says I'm sorry in his sleep.
This is a list for true horror fans. Okay? This is a continually growing list for true horror fans. I've seen over 850 horror movies, and this list is my favorite. This list is influenced in order of personal taste without crediting movies for their influence on the horror scene. Recommended sequels added in the comments. The criteria for my list, I want to see them again. And I want to buy them on DVD or Blu-ray. Commercial horror like Interview with the Vampire World War Z, those are excluded.
Oh, shut it. Let me read this list.
My favorite directors are Sam Raimi, Lucio Fulci, Rob Zombie, James Wan, Gene Roland, okay, maybe, Brian Yunza, George A. Romero, Lucky McKee, Argento, Bava, Roger Corman, Freddie.
He just
he likes Freddie Francis, so I mean, that's good, and Terrence Fisher. Jesus Franco. I hope my list will help horror fans find great new titles of horror. This is from...
These aren't all 850, are they?
Timmy Woodstra.
Who?
That's his name. His number 1 movie?
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. Number 2, The Beyond. I can go with you here. Number 3, House of 1,000 Corpses. For number 4, Sinister.
Yeah. Not nice.
5, Castle of Blood.
Mm-hmm.
Barbara Steele's in it. Wreck? No. Night of the Living Dead? No. The Shining?
Yes.
Insidious?
He likes Paranormal Activity. This list is over.
Grave Encounters. The Mist. Drag Me to Hell. The Skull.
I'm already done reading.
I've never seen this movie, though. Okay, let me tell you about this movie.
What?
The Skull. A man comes into possession of the skull of Marquis de Sade and is possessed by it. Directed by Freddie Francis.
Mm-hmm.
Starring Peter Cushing and Patrick Wymark.
Mm.
Okay, maybe I'd want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
The Descent, Black Sabbath, yes. Pet Sematary, no. Vampires, It. Miracle on London. Poster's awesome, by the way. Dead Silence.
I'm telling you, it's underrated.
You might be friends with this guy. It's starting to come around. Rob
I don't like Saw. That's where I draw the line.
Zombie.
Or the Babadook. Fuck up. Yeah, no.
Requiem for a Vampire. He likes Gene Roland. Woman in Black.
This guy doesn't have any friends.
No, he's like Deadly Blessing.
Mm-hmm.
You like that movie, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's Wes Craven.
No.
Martyrs. What did you read about that in a magazine? These are all like the movies you're supposed to like.
You know.
Mother's Day, with Rebecca De Mornay. How have we not watched that movie?
We can watch it.
Night of the Creeps. 1408, we've watched that together.
Mm-hmm.
Blood and Black Lace, we've watched that and we bought it. Oculus, this list is over.
It is. Done with him.
Done with him?
Yes.
Well, we're sorry. He did like Killer Clowns, though.
Everyone likes Killer Clowns.
Oh, you're done with Killer Clowns. Oh, he liked The Innkeepers, too.
Well, he can go be by himself forever.
Well, fans, we've reached another episode of BNS About Movies. If you'd like to reach us, you can use our brand new email address.
Or just tell me about like cool new stores in the area, or things I should check out.
BNS About.
If you want to write fan mail to our dog, that's also a possibility.
About movies at gmail.com. And now, if you'd like to find past episodes, just look up BNS About Movies on YouTube. And you can find every episode on YouTube. If you found us from YouTube, congratulations.
You're the winner.
You can go to bnsaboutmovies.podomatic.com and find episodes. Or, if you didn't find us in any of those ways, perhaps you found us on iTunes. Perhaps you found us because you're friends with us on Facebook. However you found us, we're happy that you found us. And we'll be back with another episode shortly.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to add?
Well, I want to plug my husband, but
yeah,
it's in the dishwasher.
The dishwasher
That's not hooked up.
The dishwasher is not hooked up. We're getting a new hot water.
But when it is, there'll be plugs aplenty.
Plugs aplenty. Okay. I don't like this guy's listening. If you hold my beer, I'm going to shut I can't do things one-handed. Pause.
My baby's a two-handed man.
I'm a two-hander.
Yeah. Slapper.
You know what a two-hander is? What? It's a movie that has two high rated stars.
Oh.
Like a buddy cop movie is a two-hander. Mm-hmm. Who says I don't listen to film podcasts? So you thought that I was going to tell you something dirty. I'm like...
Let me just tell you, 99.9% of the time, it's dirty.
I know, but...
My husband will take the most innocent word, like pancake, and it'll mean something horrible.
Nothing dirty about pancakes.
What's another one I learned recently?
What?
Oh, cream pie.
Cream
today.
pie.
That was just today.
I told you that I used to
on a daily basis, though, I learned something new.
I actually was listening to Howard Stern today.
But instead of passing it along, like the more you know, like that, whatever, it stops right here. I don't tell anyone. I know these things now.
I was listening. They had a live remote from, you have to tell Amy this.
What?
From the Bikers and Bears convention in Gettysburg, PA.
Ah.
And it was all bears and otters and cubs.
It's an otter.
It's someone that isn't a bear yet, but otter be a bear.
Hi, I'm Mama Bear. You met my husband?
No, I haven't.
I'm Papa Bear. And this is our cub, Baby Bear. Grrr, grrr.
I'm Vaughn. Welcome to the Hartford Road area.
When we take over, it's gonna be a bear quake. Hug me with a big bear hug.
Anyway, they took this entire hotel in Gettysburg and transformed it into a bear convention. Yeah. There was a maze where bears waited to have sex with you.
Oh, God.
And it was so bad. Here's the thing. You know that I'm crazy.
Yes.
And nothing really offends me.
You were offended.
I wasn't offended.
But you were like, ugh.
I was starting to get grossed out, and I stopped to get breakfast at the BP.
You couldn't.
I was eating a Slim Jim in the car.
Bears like
and
these.
They were talking about stuff which I won't even mention on this podcast.
And don't tell your wife either.
I was so disgusted that I stopped eating my Slim Jim. Or was I laughing so hard that I couldn't eat my Slim Jim?
You were laughing.
And then I put my Slim Jim back in my mouth.
Yeah.
Well, my wife's leaving.
I didn't leave yet. I just was getting something.
We're getting your robe.
A Slim Jim.
Oh.
I'm gonna feed my husband a Slim Jim now.
You know what? Can I use this as a soapbox before we finish this episode? Slim Jims are getting too expensive.
They've been expensive.
They are so expensive.
Jerky in general.
Okay, so there's a new jerky I
So
saw.
if you want to get out advertising, we open a jerky farm.
That jerky we bought in Vegas, that fancy jerky, is cheaper than real jerky now.
I know, so just order it.
So wait, two things.
Yeah.
One, the pepperoni. I mentioned this on the podcast before, but that's because how you can tell it's important if I brought it up more than once. Pepperoni Slim Jim with cheese, $4.19.
You might as well go to Wendy's and get a meal.
I could buy 4 hamburgers at Wendy's, or the 4 for $4 meal. With that, look. I know I'm buying for convenience, and also because I hate myself when I eat food like that. The only people there's nobody that eats Slim Jims, and
no one who eats Slim Jims.
I'm one of the few. I don't want to brag about how much I make, but I make entry level 6 figures.
You can buy
I make
4,000 Slim Jims a month.
I'm about $1,000 away from making 6 figures. So let's say I'm somewhat close. I'm one of the few, like, you know how they always give you those surveys, like how much you make? If they surveyed Slim Jim people, I am at the fucking number, I'm the 1%er Slim Jim person.
You are.
I am
the president.
The only person that
You
eats.
have the money.
No, I'm not bragging. The only person that eats Slim Jims that has more power than me is the man that owns Slim Jims.
Doesn't Randy Savage?
He's dead.
But he was.
He was the voice of Slim Jims.
Yeah, Slim Jim.
Yeah. And then Edge and Christian were too. They were the face of Slim Jim for a bit too. Or just Edge was maybe. But anyway, Slim Jims are so expensive. Is $4.19 for a Slim Jim? I'd pay now $2.79. I think $2.79 is a good price for a Slim Jim.
Not just one.
Just one, a big one. The big ones. The big ones. Now I like a Bahama Mama. Or what are the other?
The Red Rose.
The Red Rose, the Primrose Chubs. They used to be Primrose, or not the Penrose. They used to come in a big, like mini beer, like glass beer thing that you could buy at Kmart. They're filled with beer and vinegar. Sausages, and you could buy pig's feet, or you could buy these. My grandfather would eat the pig's feet, and I would eat the Penrose, and he would ration me. And be like, "You're gonna get fat. Just get one." And he would put it on a fork. And I'd have to get it out with a fork and eat it. And I just couldn't wait because when he'd leave the room, I'd sit there and look at it. And he had just a beautiful refrigerator on the porch filled with Penrose sausages and Stokey Camp era Gatorade when it was still in the glass bottles and you could only get it in green and orange. The glory days of Gatorade, some would argue. All right, so anyway, my second point.
Yes.
And then I'll let you go smoke.
Yes.
Come here. There was this new jerky at Get-Go.
Yeah.
And it was like, the one was like honey ginger.
Who made it?
I think it was Jack Link's, but it was like totally different like label. And it looked like super high end and stuff. It was a smaller bag of jerky, but there was like that, and there was like a different like spice version of it. Or something.
Ranch.
Yeah, but it was like high end flavors and stuff. How much do you think for
$8?
$6.79. For $6.79, that's like when I was a kid growing up, and I had to work for my own money.
Yeah.
A Hustler was $5. And
it's either that or you don't eat.
It was like there were several times in college when I said, "Do I want to look at a naked girl in a magazine, or do I want to eat lunch for the next 2 days?" And I would go hungry and look at naked women in magazines. Yeah.
That's what I would have guessed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what?
What?
I'm here today as a somewhat upper middle class man who loves Slim Jim, has a beautiful wife.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that the decisions I made led to it. And you know what?
The secret to your success.
That's where I learned about like Bill Hicks and like about conspiracy theories and where I learned about a lot of cool stuff. No, I totally did the articles. Well,
9 out of 10 people who tell me,
but no, 100%.
I read the articles.
100%. Because like a lot of underground cartoonists were drawing stuff. No, I've read Playboy for the articles, and that's bullshit. Because like that Playboy advisor is like people writing in like, I have a stereo system, and I wonder, nobody's reading Playboy to learn how to hook a stereo system up. In fact, nobody's reading Playboy at all. I hated Playboy growing up. I only bought one issue of Playboy. Because what's her name from 90210 was in it?
Tiffany Amber.
No, God, no.
Jenny Garth.
No, well, not Jenny Garth, maybe, no.
Gabrielle.
No, Gabrielle Sidibe? Yes. From a movie called Precious and a magazine called Playboy. I would probably look at that. But no, Shannon Doherty.
Oh.
And it was like for charity. And it was just like one picture of her, like just hand over a boob, and that was it. They made such a big deal. This is pre-internet where like now you're just like, I'll just look at it online. And then it was like, oh, Shannon Doherty's gonna be in Playboy. I was like 17. I'm like, I gotta find someone to buy this for me, and I'm gonna go to a different town because we can't do it in Elwood because everybody will know we bought it. What a letdown!
Yeah.
What a shame.
I would have been devastated for you.
In the words of Jim Sloss. No, I'm just kidding. Say that was.
What would he say?
I'm fucking furious. Also, some news about our dog.
Yeah.
He has blue paws. We've been painting our kitchen. Should I edit that out? I don't know. My parents are really going to enjoy this episode.
Yeah, no. They need to know about his blue paws, too.
Yeah, he walked through the paint.
A paint tray.
A paint tray.
Mm-hmm. Not just like a drop. No, jumped in it.
Jumped in it.
And then once he knew what he had done, ran around and wouldn't let anyone catch him to wipe it off.
No, and he has 2 front paws.
That are baby blue.
That are baby blue.
That's so people know he's a boy.
Teen.
If
I tried to paint your claws, you would
face off.
you would react like a maniac.
But because he did it, it's okay.
All right. Well, I think I've gotten out all my confessions for the night.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
All right. Well, we're gonna go to bed, but first, my wife's gonna have a smoke. We're gonna shut off this podcast, and I'm gonna thank you all for listening to it
And we'll see you
at the movies.